Tonight's episode of garageLaverty is brought to you by Reuben's Brews Crikey IPA. When you absolutely, positively earned your beer for the day, except no substitute. So yeah, welcome back to garageLaverty, where the beer's always cold and shit's always broken. I've just returned from a wonderful hike down the side of ZXR250 here in Washington, where, as you can see, it's all together. It looks wonderful. It's a gorgeous bike when it's in one piece. And I took it out for a ride with the newly lined tank, the rebuilt petcock, and I broke down on the side of the freeway. I got longer than I got before, but the symptoms are the same. So, yeah. Welcome to another night here in the garage. So, thanks to the lovely folks at 250.com. I've talked to you about them before. There's a parts diagram up on the website. And so I took that parts diagram in with me to my friendly local Kawasaki dealer. And I'm like, I need part number, and I gave him a 5-digit number. They asked me, what's the other 5 digits? Because apparently the 5 digits I gave them is what every O-ring is prefaced with. It got us close enough. We found an O-ring in the system from I don't even remember what. But I bought it. I brought it home. I installed it in the petcock, and hey, look, no more leaks. I'm a happy camper. They got my battery in today, so I have a normal lithium-ion full-size battery in this bike. It cranks right over and everything's happy. And so I'm like, it's 10:30 at night. I'm going to go take it for a ride and go find somewhere to take a picture of it that's not my garage. So I took off. And I had this great idea. There's a local drive-in that I usually, when I do something good, I take my victory meal at. And so I'm like, sweet, I'm going to run to Burger Master. It's rolling around town just fine. It's getting up in the RPMs. And I huck it through the cloverleaf onto the freeway. And it just goes, and then coasts off to the side of the road. So, hip hip hooray for that. Freeway's a divided freeway, so I got to push it against traffic for the better part of probably 3/4 of a mile uphill until I got to the ramp. Out of breath, soaking wet with sweat. I got my cardio today, that's for certain. I earned my beer. And I finally got it restarted, got to ride it home, parked it, and here I stand. So, yeah, lots of pushing, lots of sweating. Leather is not a pushing kind of fabric. And I'm back here with the same problem I faced yesterday, but now it takes longer to actually start. So I'm confused. It's possible that the carbs are plugged, but there's no quote-unquote up-high jetting in these. The way the Ducati with its flat slides has throttle percentage-based carburetors. These are load-based, and they work down low fine, and they work fine when you get into the gas hard at low RPMs. So, I'm a little stumped right now. I'm a little frustrated. But I got to ride it, which is pretty bitchin'. I made the mistakes of getting my hopes up that I'd be able to take it this weekend. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I got my hopes up. It's in one piece again. It's assembled. It's together. And I think we're down to the point where when the carbs get here from Thailand, or the carb gaskets get here, I'm just going to have to tear down the carbs and see what's going on. Because it's the only thing left in the fuel system that would account for what I'm seeing. It's got me thinking on other stuff, though, I got to admit. And I'm wondering, because it doesn't hit a wall at 14 anymore. That wall is now variable between 12 and 15 and a half. And if you keep up with me on Facebook, you'll see I got it to rev up to 18.5 the other night on a free rev. So I know it was able to get up there unloaded, but when it's loaded, it can't get up as high in the RPMs, and it feels like it's hitting a soft rev limiter. I'm trying to figure out if maybe there's like just a mechanical limiter somewhere, the bike's not warm enough, or what. But even then, that still doesn't account for why it runs out of fuel. So, yeah, as things go, I think it's time to sit, do a little research. We're halfway through the week? It's coming up on Thursday now. I think it's time for me to double down on my weekend on the Ducati, get a touring bag on it, get the battery back in it. And you know what? If nothing else, at least I can say this. I'm going to go ride my bike.